Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie. Today I'm updating you on my rotating Pan Those palettes. So I will link my intro video if you want to check it out. But essentially I'm in round one. So for the first 4 months of this year, I'm focusing on two kind of pre-made palettes and one like little Z palette of shadows, and just trying to see what kind of progress I can make on them. And it's been really great this first month. So wanted to give you a little bit of a check-in and, let you know if I've hit pan on anything and all that good stuff. So I am working on a Z palette. This is one that I just created mostly from ColourPop shades. So this is one that I'm using very often. I would say I reach in here every time because it's got my, matte cream, my inner corner highlight shade, some liner shades that are kind of go-to. So I'm in this one quite a bit. I also traveled with this one. I brought along the mini retro, but I really kind of only used this one. So that was great to know that this could be kind of like a standalone thing with me. So that is the first one. I am also working on the Natasha Denona mini retro palette, which has these beautiful kind of pinks and greens in here. I already have pan on this gold shade, but I don't have pan in any of the other ones. So this is the other palette I'm working on. And then my newest palette, I got this in December as like a birthday gift to myself, is the Natasha Denona Glam palette. So I've been working on this. I did rearrange mine, so it does look different than if you were to just purchase it. But that's one of the things I really enjoy about this is there's the holes on the back that you can just punch through to pop the shadow out and then realign it with the magnet. So this is what my palette is looking like. And I wanted to give you a little update here. So I have not hit pan on anything new, unfortunately. In my Z palette, I already had pan on this one. Obviously it has, expanded a little bit just from me using it, but I don't have any new pans in any of the palettes to share today. So that's a little sad, but it is only 1 month in. I'm sure we'll get there. Let me just open all of these up so it's easier for me. I did want to share the usages. I have been keeping track of this, and I wrote them down this time so I don't have to keep referencing my phone. So kind of going in this first row, Fantasyland here, I used it 4 times. It's this really pretty kind of pink shimmer. It does wear away after a while, so I can put a lot on there. But it's just kind of a little dusty, I guess. The center shade is Coastline. This does have a nice dip in it. I use this as my inner corner highlight, and then, on occasion I'll put it over the lid or something. But I do have a dip in there. It's a ColourPop shade, so they're pretty deep pans. So I think that's one that it'll take me most of the year to hit pan on, but I used it 9 times. And then at the end here of the matte cream colored full expose from Bare Necessities, and I use that 14 times. So I'm using that almost every time I do my eye makeup. Moving into the second row here, I have Pebble Beach. I used this 7 times. In the center, I have Silk Teddy. I used it 9 times. This is one I really want to hit pan on. I've got a nice dip going in there. Maybe I should just pull it out. Duh. I have a nice dip going in here. The shade itself is gorgeous. I really love the shine it gives and the depth of it. So I'm really wanting to see pan in this before, I switch my shades out. And I think that can happen. I just probably like March, late March or April when that happens. I don't know. I might surprise myself, but it does have a good, dent going in it, I would say. Okay, and then at the end here, I have Constrictor, and I use this one twice as a like outer third type shade. And then moving into the bottom here, I have Bonfresco. This is from ABH, like a single from them, and this has 7 uses since I started. All of this is from like when I started this project. This is Zycust. I have 1, and then Spyglass 4, this black. So I use these 2 as liners. I'm wearing the purple liner today, and it's really pretty. I kind of forgot. It's subtle because it's a deep purple, but it does offer just a little bit of a pop, which is fun. So in short, I did use all of these shades this month. Would love to use all of them again, each time. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, that is the update for the Z palette. Moving into the mini retro here. I reached for a shade or two, but I didn't use all of them. So let me grab my other Post-it with my cheat sheet on it. So the gold shade I used once, and it's just kind of like a topper. I just, put my finger in and added it to the top of a look. It wasn't like the sole shimmer on my lid. I have not used the shimmery green yet. I think it's gorgeous. I just haven't used it yet. So that's still something I need to use. I used the matte green one time very lightly in the crease, kind of like outer crease, The mauve shade I've used 3 times, and then the shimmer pink I've used 3 times. I think these two I'll probably reach for a little bit more in February, just because it's February and I do like a soft pink eye look. So I'm sure I'll be reaching into these two a little bit more, and then maybe incorporate a green, we'll see. But that's kind of where we're at there. So I just need to make sure that I use this shimmery green. I would like to use every shade at least once while the shades are in the project. I think that's important. Okay, and then last is the Glam palette. So I did rearrange these and they don't have names printed. Okay, I'm gotta figure out how to hold this because there is such a glare. So I've been numbering like 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 through 15. So going across the first row here, I used all of these shades once, except for this end one I used not yet all yet. So I still need to use this kind of deeper one at the end. The second row here, I used, let's see here, 6, 7, 8, these kind of lighter shimmers I used twice. 9 I used once, and I have not used this one at the end yet, so I still need to, give that one a try. And then in the bottom row, I used 11 and 12, these two twice. I used 13 4 times, that's exciting, and then I haven't used 14 or 15. So pretty much this darker section I still need to get some more use out of. And like I could easily use them as liners and stuff, but I have other liners, so I just need to give them at least one try, and then I can kind of mark that off as a goal. So I'm feeling good about this. This palette has been really, really fun to play with. I'm learning that, especially for the shimmers, I just prefer to use my finger. I can't really find a brush in my collection that I like the application of as much as I like, just putting my finger in and applying it. So that's kind of been a lesson learned. It's not bad. I still enjoy it, but it is just something for me to keep in mind. So yeah, no new pans this time. I have not brought in any new eyeshadows either. So my pan percentage remains the same, which I have a total of 135 eyeshadows, and I have pan in 17, which is 12.5% as my pan percentage. So hopefully in February or March, I can, have another pan or two to add to that. My overarching goal for the year is to hit pan or finish 13 shades. So for example, like I know sometime later in the year, I'll finish up that cream shade, and that'll be one, and probably hit pan in some of these kind of basic shades. But I would just really love to, start seeing those. It's a process because I'm pretty light-handed and I don't wear eye makeup every day. So I know people that do can get through things because they're just using it more. So trying not to compare myself, but I have been enjoying having this little capsule of eyeshadows. I still feel like I have variety, but I also don't feel like a decision fatigue in the morning trying to just put together an eye look. It's been really, really helpful just to have this little Z palette. Like I know this is a complete palette for me. And if I want to jump into another palette to grab a different lid shade or something, I can, but I can also use this standalone, which has been immensely helpful for me. So that is where we're at, kind of a quiet update, I would say. Keep in mind, I do have in the back of my planner the charts and like drawings of all my palettes. So as soon as we do hit pan on something or finish something, we can update this chart so it, reflects that. But no activity yet for us. So that is kind of my update. I will check in with you at the beginning of March to let you know how February went. I don't foresee a ton of progress in February, but we'll see. I might be able to surprise myself. So I'd love to hear how your panning projects are going down below, especially eyeshadow. I love eyeshadow panning. Let me know how that's going, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.